everyone. A very hearty good evening to all of you. I hope you're doing quite all right. My name is Anuja. I am from Supergrads, and this is yet another session where we are going to discuss something which is extremely relevant to all of you. Now, I must remind you that you should stay tuned to this channel because there are several such sessions coming forward in the next week, in the next month. A lot of interesting things are planned for you. So, you are going to benefit a lot if you just make sure that you be a part of it. So, this is going to be a quick and efficient session where we will discuss, as you can see on the screen behind me, how to deal with questions related to reading comprehension. Now, this, of course, is the question type, right? This is something which takes up the most portion of any exam because this is the skill which tells the examiner that you are all right. In fact, you're good with the language, with the English language. Because if you can read something and comprehend it, that means understand it, that means you have command over language. So, how to deal with reading comprehension questions is the agenda for today. First of all, I will tell you what all kinds of reading comprehension questions are there, and then we will talk about them one by one. Okay, so if you are ready, let's go. The first step is to tell you the question types. Now, of course, the first one is the most common one, which is reading comprehension passage. So you get a passage, and then there are some questions, multiple choice questions, which are based on the data given in the passage, and you answer them after reading the passage. So no additional information is required. In fact, in all the comprehension questions, no bias, no additional information is required from your side. All you need to do is just read the passage, comprehend it, in fact, have a clear bird's eye view of the situation, and then you try to answer the question. Yes, so that's what reading comprehension passage is all about. Next is a para completion question. This one also checks your comprehension skills, how well you understand, because they have given you a paragraph and they have deleted a line from it. Maybe the first line or the last line or somewhere in between, they have deleted a line and you have to complete it. You are given four options. You have to choose which sentence will make the paragraph most sensible. So that's what you do in a para completion question. Next is para jumble question, in which a paragraph is broken into various parts and all those parts are jumbled up, and you're supposed to arrange them in the right order so that you can know, so that the examiner can know if you have the necessary skills to create a paragraph. So that's a para jumble question. Next is summary making, which you can also call by the name gist or crux or essence. If you have that, if you can make the summary of a text, that means you have understood the essence of it. So that's what happens, but just be careful, the options are very close here, so you have to be very careful. And odd sentence is the final question type, in which, let us say, they have given you five sentences. Now, out of those five, four relate with each other in a certain way, and one is something odd, something different. Maybe the theme is different, or maybe the general theme is similar, but the subtopic is different, or the tone is different. Something is very different about that one odd sentence, and you are going to be the detective who spots that. So these are the various question types which you need to become good at, which you need to develop your skills in. And if I talk to you about the ideal practice plan, which is going to help you become better at any and all of these question types, then it's very simple. See, the plan has a combination model. It involves some reading on your part, and that too on a daily basis. Yes, when you read, when you get used to, accustomed to reading the written word, you get better at comprehension. Slowly, your vocabulary also picks up, and you get in general more comfortable with the concept of reading. So you read every single day, you read good newspapers, editorials, some good novels as well. In fact, if you're looking for recommendations, I'm coming up with a video very soon where we'll talk about some excellent recommendations that you can pick up. So you read on a very regular basis, and along with that, you practice some questions, and that has to be consistent. So let us say if I give you a rough target, I would say I'll take you back to the question types, and I would say reading comprehension is the most common question type. So let us say you do two RCs every single day. You do 10 parajumbles every single day, and solving two RCs will not take you more than 10 minutes. 10 parajumbles, once again, should take you only 5 to 6 minutes. So that's like a 15-minute plan. And the other three questions are not very common. You can take 5 to 10 minutes to solve a few of those. But if you do that every single day, then that's the ideal practice plan, because the consistency that you're bringing in the module is going to give you confidence, it's going to give you speed, and it's also going to give you accuracy. So that is the ideal practice plan, a daily practice plan, which has a lot of reading and a lot of practice. I gave you a rough number, a ballpark figure, so that you can understand approximately what kind of time do you need to put into this. The next discussion should be about the two-pronged strategy. When I say two-pronged strategy, I mean two components are there. So first is using the language. That's a broader term for because it's not just reading. You are supposed to write sometimes. I know since we have left school, we are not really writing. I mean, we think that that's beyond us. But if you write letters, essays, sometimes you will be able to use the language. You will be able to know what grammatical rules you know, where you are lagging. So just write sometimes, read, as I said, that is mandatory, non-negotiable. Speak as often as you can, because when you speak a language, you get newfound confidence. So you need to speak the language and listen. Listen to native speakers if possible, and it is very much possible given the boom of internet that we have around us. So listen to native speakers and listen to them speaking on topics that you like. It's not necessary that you listen to speakers on very complicated technical topics. You can pick up a topic of your choice, but listen to good speakers, people who have accomplished a name in that field. And that will all cover using the language part. And the other part is practice. Now, when you practice, you must follow it by an analysis session. Yes, if you're not analyzing, you're wasting your practice session. You must analyze. Don't get paralysis by analysis. It shouldn't be too much that you get too involved in it. But yes, you must necessarily analyze, look at the explanations, ask yourself, what did I miss? Was it a difficult word that bothered me, or many difficult words that bother me, or was it the lack of time, or was it concentration issues? Just zero down on your problem. When you do that, then you will eventually get better. So that is the two-pronged strategy, which involves using the language and practicing, but practicing has to be followed by analysis. We don't want to overanalyze. We don't want to paralyze ourselves by doing overanalysis. But yes, we want to know the factors that are hampering our progress. And that can only happen when you analyze. Moving on, what are the common mistakes to avoid? I think that is something very, very crucial to discuss, because people often don't see these pitfalls, and then all there is left to do is regret. But I want you to be proactive, just to know in advance that these are the mistakes people make, and you are going to avoid it. One very common mistake is taking it casually, thinking that, English in my exam is going to be very similar to English in my school exam. There, I did not have to be very consistent. I studied studied a few days before my exam and it was all right. Thinking a similar plan will work here is going to take you down the rabbit hole. No, this plan is not going to work here because this English is actually very broad. They can give you a passage from any domain. It could be from your comfort zone, it could be beyond your comfort zone, and you really have to be good at language. When you're good at language, then only you will be able to solve the questions. So you really need to look at this in a totally new light. Okay, so don't make that mistake. Another thing, be consistent. See, some people think that I'll probably study a lot in one third time, but people who do a little bit every single day, not in one third time, they do a little bit every single day, are major gainers in this game. So this is a game of consistency. Consistency with analysis really improves you. Okay. Don't just to do one of the things. So I told you to use the language and solve questions. Don't just do one of those things. Don't say that it's either or situation. If you're just using the language, reading fictional books, and just enjoying the language but not solving any questions, I am sorry, but you're not going to make it because you're not used to the pattern of the question, right? And if you're only solving questions but you do not have a background in language, see, readers always have an advantage in such questions because when they pick up an RC, it's nothing unusual, it is nothing new to them. They read every single day and it's just an extension of that. So do not do just one of those things, do both of them. Don't make that common mistake. Make sure that you're using the language and also practicing questions. Okay. See, underconfidence is problematic, but so is overconfidence. Don't think that this is easy. Even people with very good English, very fluent people, often are not able to complete this task in the given amount of time. So, speed is also an important factor which will only improve if you practice every single day. So, don't be overconfident and don't approach this with underconfidence because you need to believe in yourself. This is a skill that can most certainly be improved. I have been improving this, so I know I see a considerable improvement from where I started. So I know that this is very much possible. So don't approach this with underconfidence that this is not for me. I'm not that kind of person. I'm sure that this is a skill which will enrich your experience and you are actually going to become better at it. Okay, so on that note, here we are. Thank you so much. We have come to an end. Before I call it a day, I would very quickly like to summarize what all we discussed today. So today's session was specifically focused on all the question types related to reading comprehension. Reading comprehension simply means to read something and to understand. And even if you do not understand every small detail, if you understand the main idea, that is most of the time sufficient. So I told you the top five comprehension based questions. I told you their format, and I told you the strategy to become better at each of them. And we discussed a plan for you and also the common mistakes that you're supposed to avoid. Now, one more thing, one final addition here. When you're solving, please pick up some material. You can pick up our material or any other material that you feel like, but pick up material which has explanations. I cannot emphasize how important that is because if you do not have explanations, then you will never be able to analyze what is going wrong in your questions, especially in comprehension driven questions. Explanation is very important. Mere answer key is not going to do the job. So pick up something which has explanation so that when you read it, you can analyze and you can locate your mistake and make sure that you don't make it again. Okay. So on that note, thank you so much for being patient. I hope you've learned something today. I hope it was enjoyable for you. I'm going to see you very soon again. And till then, please have a very good day. Please have a good rest of the day. Take very good care of yourself.